Yes, everybody. Welcome back in the building. Happy Saturday, you guys. Happy weekend where our 2025-2026 season kicks off tomorrow against Crystal Palace in the Community Shield final. I cannot wait for it. I really cannot wait for it. And of course, we'll be doing a watch along. So I hope to see those of you that aren't at Wembley tomorrow and those of you that are going have the best freaking time. But for those of you that aren't, I hope to see you in the watch along tomorrow. But guys, right now we are not here to talk about team news, Community Shield. We are here to talk about Alexander Isak because there's been a lot of stress this morning. And I know many people don't trust Luke Edwards, but he does write for the Telegraph, which is a reliable source. So we have to talk about it. This is an exclusive news from Luke Edwards this morning. I'm sure you guys probably have seen it, saying that Newcastle have told Alexander Isak he will not be sold this summer, and that a move to Liverpool will be blocked, which is sparking player fury, as in Alexander Isak is not happy at all. But obviously, since this has come out, there's been he put out this article at around 10:30 a.m. UK time this morning. 2.2 million views on Twitter so far, you guys. 2.2 million views on Twitter so far. You guys are asking how reliable is he? Again, the Telegraph is very reliable, but I very much so think this is information sources that he's getting directly from the club to try to get as much money as possible from Liverpool for his signature. And the reason I say that, you guys, to calm down all the stresses, the reason I say that, you guys, is because if you listen to Eddie Howe, he had a press conference literally last night, and in that press conference, he said that he doesn't expect Alexander Isak to be part of the team. Doesn't expect Alexander Isak to be part of the team to face Villa on their opening day fixture next week. Now tell me something. If they had complete control of the player, and what I mean by that is they block the transfer and they tell him he has to stay, wouldn't he be available for the first game of the season, which is absolutely crucial for Newcastle and a tough game against Aston Villa as well? Of course he would be. And then he was also asked, and I actually just put out a video on this on Liverpool Goals. He was also asked by a journalist if he can be forced to stay. And listen to what Eddie Howe literally said last night. I'll literally just play the recording of it. Listen. Listen to this, you guys. Ready?
I don't think it's that straightforward. Otherwise, we'd have done that a long time ago. I don't think we're in a position to be able to do that currently. I don't want to go into too much detail because I don't think that's right. I think I've probably said enough.
So that's the quote, but I'll maybe it was a little hard to hear, so I'll repeat exactly what his words were last night. So he was asked on if Newcastle can tell Alexander Isak he has to stay. And Eddie Howe said, quote, "It's not that straightforward. Otherwise, we would have done that a long time ago. I don't think we're in a position to be able to do that currently." That's what I don't understand. Like, literally, he said that last night. You know what I'm saying? We got a Newcastle fan in the building who says, "Do you think he could still leave?" But that's it from F. Because technically, Delior, nice to see you in the building, by the way, who says, technically, can they force the player to stay? Technically, yes. Why can they technically do that? Because he has 3 years left on his deal. And they can tell him, listen, if you're unhappy to be at the club, we'll just sit you on the bench and eventually he'll just want to play football again. And they could tell him, you have to stay at the football club because you still have 3 years left and we couldn't get a replacement in. You know what I mean? But in my opinion, I don't see that happening. Why? I think it would be detrimental to the entire squad. It would be and that's why Eddie Howe says it's not that simple. You can't just force a player against his own will. They can tell him we won't sell you, and then maybe he'll say then I won't play for the club. But that's very, very bad. Why? Like I said before, if a Bruno, who's also a star player who could play for many top teams, if a Bruno sees how this Isak situation is being handled when the best team in the world, Liverpool, one of the best teams in the world, Liverpool, wants him, then he's going to say, damn, in the future, if I have a chance to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona or Liverpool or whomever, like I said, top 3-4 teams in the world right now, and Newcastle block my move, I don't want to be at that team. I don't want to be part of Newcastle if they won't allow me to take that step up. Again, it's not saying that Newcastle is a bad club or that their project isn't exciting, but just look at the amount of players that rejected them this summer. And is it realistic to say that Newcastle will win the Premier League or the Champions League next season? No. Even every Newcastle fan would tell you that. Every Newcastle fan would tell you that. You get what I'm saying? So this is what I mean about it's not that simple to just force a player to stay. It's not that simple because it has a snowball effect on the entire rest of the team. Entire rest of the team. Big up David Hamid. Thank you very much for becoming a channel legend member. I want you spamming those emojis. Spamming. LFC Forever says, I agree. I think we should sign Ben Yedder. Bro, I haven't heard Ben Yedder's name in years. I gotta be honest. I haven't heard his name in years since his Sevilla days. Seems like Edwards is unreliable. It's weird. Because the Telegraph, let me tell you, has some of the most it's one of the best outlets in the best newspapers in the UK. So why have they gotten this journalist who just spreads stuff to basically try to help Newcastle's situation, you know? Yes, Gvaza, I do remember you. How's it going? Nice to see you back in the building. And that's why, Mister, I don't believe it's true. Dean, nice to see you in the building. Yeah, this is the latest news that we're talking about here. The from Luke Edwards, that he says in Newcastle have told Alexander Isak he will not be sold this summer and move to Liverpool will be blocked. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't believe this is true. I think the only reason why Luke Edwards, that Newcastle, thank you Riyadh for the support. The only reason why I think Newcastle would have given this information to Luke Edwards is to just help them to try to do everything they can last minute to get Isak to stay, which I don't think will happen, but also to try to get as much money as possible from Liverpool Football Club. Because it's just a matter of time now that he's going to be leaving, you know? He's back in training, but he's not training with the rest of the team. Again, that's very telling. Very telling. Name a footballer for an edit, Hugo Ekitike. Hugo Ekitike. Yo, David Hamid, thank you very much, guys. David has gifted 5 memberships. Big up, David. Thank you very much for the support. Who's gifted Oliver, who's gifted Shrek, who's an OG in the building, who's gifted LFC Ali, who's an OG in the building, who's gifted Rust, and David has also gifted Martin, who's an absolute OG in the building too. I want W's in the building spammed right now, you guys. David's bringing that energy ahead of the season returning tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for it. Guys, for all of you who have just become members, channel members, I want you spamming those emojis. I want you spamming them emojis. W's in the building. We're bringing that energy. My goodness, guys, I just cannot wait. I just cannot wait. Oh, I cannot wait for the season. For our watch along tomorrow. For the Community Shield. It is so freaking exciting. It's going to be heated. Turkey, Georgia match. Oh, wow. That's going to be special. And you're going to get to see Georgi Mamardashvili then. Big up, David. Look at those emojis being spammed. Prioritizing center back with Kwanzaa, bro. We're gonna sign a center back. I'm not worried about it. There's been more and more talk about Giovanni Leoni, the center back from Parma. Very, very good player, and I think we're gonna end up signing a center back. I'm seriously not worried about that situation. Why? Because it's so clear we need to sign a center back. And many reliable journalists have said us signing Isak doesn't mean that we won't sign a center back. So we would absolutely get both. And I don't think we would spend that much money on Isak if it meant we couldn't sign a center back when a center back is absolutely needed. Because right now we only have 2 fit senior center backs at the club. That's not enough. Absolutely not enough. We would be 1 injury away from crisis mode and the season hasn't even started. So don't you guys, do not be worried about it. I think either Our number one option obviously is Mark Gahey, and apparently Chelsea are no longer in the race for him, so we're the main club in the race. Either we get Mark Gahey, which I think is our number one option because obviously he's the most proven. He's England international. There's so many positives with getting him. He's ready-made. But I think we'll only get him if Crystal Palace drop their price, which I think could genuinely happen because they won't want to lose him on a free next summer. But I think our plan B, if that doesn't happen, is signing a really promising young center back like Giovanni Leoni, the one that I just mentioned from Parma, who's 18 years old, 6'5", really highly rated in Italy, and then waiting till next summer to get Gahey on a free. I think that's the situation we're in right now. So seriously, do not be worried about that situation. I have total confidence because, like I said, it would be a rookie mistake to go into the season right now with 2 fit senior center backs because Gomez is still out. So, and I really, with how intelligent we are behind the scenes, I don't see us making that kind of mistake and taking that kind of risk ahead of the season. LFC for Life, thank you very much for the support. Who says, yo, Leo, I'm back in the building. Nice to see you, LFC for Life. How excited are you tomorrow for the Community Shield final? We're going to get to see a full-strength Liverpool team nearly play an entire 90 minutes. I think Maka will probably come off the bench and will obviously make subs. But yeah, I'm so hyped. Go12 says, free Isak. Do you think Ibu will extend his contract? I'm hopeful right now. Yes, I'm hopeful. Shrek says, I don't know whether to be happy or sad as a Chelsea fan right now because on the one hand, we're doing great and Estevao, how do you say his name? Estevao, yeah. Scored on his debut, but Colwell did his ACL. It's very bittersweet. Yeah, I really did not like to see that about Colwell. I hope he gets well soon. It's devastating when you see players picking up ACL injuries, especially in preseason friendlies. It's crazy. But Shrek, as a Chelsea fan, do you think the Club World Cup had an impact on an injury like that? Or do you think you just can't, it's not related to the Club World Cup? Because some people are saying that's why the Club World Cup should have never happened because it's leading to more injuries. Or do you think it's just totally unrelated to the Club World Cup? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Kaya, thank you very much for the support as well. Who says, can you shout out to your cousin Caden, absolute legend. You'll never walk alone, Caden. I hope you're doing well. Shout out to you and your cousin Kaya. Yo, Theo, nice to see you in the building. What's good too? We got Henry who says, you'll never walk alone from Australia. Do you remember me from the Barcola stream? Yes, I do. I hope to see you tomorrow too for the watch along. Master says, I'm in the building. We got Pi from Finland. David says, what's the thing about the Community Shield curse? I think it's just if you look at the last few years, let's have a look. Apparently, the team that wins the Community Shield doesn't go on to win the Premier League. That's why people are stressed out about this Community Shield. But let me tell you, so last season, City won the Community Shield. They didn't win the Premier League title. In 2023-2024, Arsenal won the Community Shield and they didn't win the Premier League title. In 2022, Liverpool won the Community Shield final. We didn't go on to win the Premier League. In 2021, Leicester won the Community Shield. They didn't go on to the... So basically, if you look at the last few years, the team that went on to win the Community Shield didn't go on to win the Premier League. And that's why people saying it's cursed. But bro, I don't believe in any of that. Come on. The amount of people that were freaking out last season when Mohamed Salah posted his Christmas tree picture. The man was just living his life, like whatever. People were saying it's cursed, right? Saying, oh, now we're going to bottle the league because we were leading the league at that point. We went on to win the Premier League and he had the craziest season ever. So I really don't believe in these curses. And definitely Arne Slot won't believe in curses because he knows he's in control. He's in control of the fate of this team. He's in control of winning or losing football matches. And why would he listen to curses and stuff like that? It just makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I just don't understand people saying, oh, I want to lose the Community Shield final. Absolutely not. I want to win it. I want to win every game Liverpool plays in. Even if it's preseason, bro. Even if it's preseason. It's just like, it's good to win every game. Why not? Why not? The power of hydration is stronger. Exactly. Or any positive power for me is stronger. I just want to think about, I think you should always be thinking about positives anytime in life because there's enough things that drag you down that I just want to, anytime you can, be positive about a situation, be positive about a situation. And for me, what's positive about winning the Community Shield, it's an early early way to get a bit of silverware and feel that, and it just makes you hungrier for the season, in my opinion. That's why I also love winning the Carabao Cup, because you can win it so early on in the season that it brings that buzz that I think can be extra motivation to feel that again in a bigger way later on in the season. Because let's be honest, Community Shield, Carabao Cup is nowhere near the levels of winning a Premier League or a Champions League. Those are the prizes you really want. Like, seriously, those are the prizes. Like, people are talking about quadruple this and that. I don't care that much. I just, if you do a double and you win the Premier League and the Champions League, for me, it just doesn't get better than that. That's the holy grail. Like, genuinely. Yes, it's like a night, like, to win a treble or whatever is obviously nice. Every extra trophy is great. But I think the holy grail is Premier League and Champions League without a shadow of a doubt. David says, time to break that curse. Shout out to you, Boy, in the building. We got Isaac back in the building. Who's your favorite Liverpool player right now? Bro, I can't choose. I like them all too much. But I have a little bit of bias towards the French Liverpool players just because I am half French, and I live in France. So maybe Ibou Konate and Hugo Kitike, I don't know. But nah, I like all of them. Seriously, they're all so likable as well. My cousin and me are big fans. Hope you remember me, Kaya. Yes, I do. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. The real Johnny. Oh, God, what is this username? The real Johnny says, Leo, is the Telegraph story true? I'm scared now. I don't believe it's true. I was talking about it before, and I was saying I really don't think it's been as good as Alexander Isak is as a player. I don't think it's beneficial. I really don't think it's beneficial for the football club, for the team, for Eddie Howe to force Isak to stay. And like I said before, because I believe it has a snowball effect on the rest of the team that can be more negative than positive, even as good as he is. And why? Like I said before, if I'm a Bruno or a Tonali or Anthony Gordon, who are players who can play for many clubs in the world at their best, they'll look at the situation and say, so if a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or a Liverpool come in for me, Newcastle is going to block that move, once in a lifetime move. I don't want to be at that football club anymore. And that could unsettle a lot of the players. And like I said, the negative snowball effect that can have is, to me, more detrimental than forcing to keep an unhappy player to stay, who, by the way, who knows if he'll perform, because he won't be happy. So I really don't believe this. And like I said before, I think this Telegraph, again, Telegraph, very reliable outlet. But I believe Luke Edwards has been told this by Newcastle to try to get more money out of Liverpool, because they're hoping for the £150 million. And I believe Liverpool Football Club doesn't want to pay the £150 million. Why? Because that is the top tier target for Newcastle, and right now the player is unsettled and they're kind of forced to sell, because again, like I just said, it wouldn't be good for them to keep a player like that given the circumstances. So I think Liverpool believe that should help them in the negotiations, and therefore hopefully are able to find an agreement between the initial bid that we put in, which is £110 million, and the £150 million that they're asking for. I think the dream is to find something in between, which is something around the £135 million mark. I think we're going to find an agreement somewhere in the region between 130 million and 140 million pounds. I believe, hopefully, that's where we strike an agreement. But before then, yes, Newcastle have to find their replacements a striker in the striker position. I think they'll get Wisa and another striker, and then they're going to be basically forced to sell at that stage. But they have to get in their replacements first. Guys, David has sent another 10 memberships. You absolute legend. Thank you, David. Hey, mate, I want W's in the building, guys. David is getting our new season started in a crazy way, bringing that energy. Big up, David. Thank you for the support. My goodness, I'm too excited. And I see you've gifted some OGs as well. So, guys, David has gifted Ali Fisher, Master Gibber, Ali Nus, my Romanian Scouser, who's in the building. Alinus, I want you spamming those emojis now that you're a member of the channel as well. Edgar Davids is in the building. Legend, footballing legend, has just been gifted by David. We got Nelson Ayodele, who got gifted. Dear Yoon, London Gaming Tamil, CJ V Edits. Claudia says, hey Leo, the new kit really suits you. Thank you. I think it suits everybody. It's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. It's my favorite home kit in many, many years. Andrew James has been gifted a membership. Danny Up the Reds has been gifted a membership. Big up. I want you guys spamming those emojis. Frenchie, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Hopefully tomorrow for you, Liverpool lifts the first bit of many silverware to come next season. Fingers crossed. Oh yes. Oh yes. Shout out to you, Kaya. Thank you as always for the support. Yes, I do remember you from Anfield. I do remember you. What's your prediction for tomorrow's game? Harry says, buzzing for tomorrow's game. Can't wait to see Verts and Ikitike. Bro, I thought Ugo Ikitike, I know he didn't score against Athletic Club in that second game, but I thought he looked so bright in that game. And I think we really got to see that we got a special player on our hands here. And he got, obviously, the assist for Salah's goal. So he did get a goal contribution already. Elena, nice to see you in the building. Alan says, heading to Wembley tomorrow. Can't wait. Oh my God, you are lucky. That's going to be incredible. Incredible. I love Verts because of his pace. Master Gibber, I wouldn't say that's actually like his biggest strength. I don't think Verts is that quick, but he's very quick in the mind. Very intelligent. High footballing IQ. I think he's quick in that way for sure. What's up, Leo? I'm so excited for tomorrow's game. Me too, Daniel. Me too. When do you think the offer for Isak will be? Here we go. Whenever Newcastle sign those two strikers, because they lost Callum Wilson, who has now gone to West Ham on a free. I think it's once that happens. They need to sign two strikers because they'll be losing two strikers if Isak goes. And then that'll be the green light for us to send in another bid, which I think will be in the region of between 120 to 135 million pounds is my guess for the next one. Oh, it's your birthday tomorrow. Bro, I can't wait to see more of Ugo Ekitike. Trust. Leo, how are you? Tell me I'm doing well. So you're going to Wembley? You're going to London tomorrow for the game? Jamie Phillips, nice to see you. What's up, fella? Nice to see you. I'm doing well. How are you? How are you feeling ahead of the game tomorrow? We bid for Leone. Did you see that? No. What source said we bid for Leone? I didn't see that. We got another Romanian Scouser. What about from Romania? Nice to see you. I'm getting the new shirt tomorrow. Who should I get on the back? Bro, I'm waiting to go to Liverpool to get Florian Wirtz on the back of this one. I'm just too hyped about Florian Wirtz. W's in the building for Kaya and Caden. Are you with Caden right now? Yes, I'm so excited, says Tommy. Let's go. APN says, hey Leo, love from Malaysia. You'll never walk alone and forever remember Diogo and Andre. Yes. On every Liverpool shirt, there'll be a forever Diogo and Andre tribute this season in all the shirts we wear. The Milky Scouser, nice to see you. How do you become a member? Musa, you can hit join to become a member. I'm getting number 27 on the back. Next match I go to. You're from New Zealand. What time is it in New Zealand? It's nighttime for you, right? Can he not terminate his contract? I think that would be way too costly. If we make another record bid, surely Newcastle can't refuse. Yep. But my guess is truly that Newcastle have said, listen, we're now going to sell him to you, but you have to allow us to get our two replacements in, two strikers, like I said. And I think Liverpool is just waiting right now for them to get the Wisa deal over the line and then whoever else they get. And then we'll send in that bid. And hopefully that moves very quickly because we know all the terms. Apparently personal terms with Alexander Isak is not an issue. That's not an issue at all. It's just basically Newcastle being open to sell and agreeing a fee with Newcastle. That's all that's left basically. First ever Liverpool match 2. Oh my goodness, Tommy. That's going to be incredible. Yes, it's me and Caden. You're the best, Leo. Thank you, Kaya. If Isak doesn't want to stay, we shouldn't offer more than 120 million pounds. We can take the price on them. Dejan, the only thing is, I believe there'll have been a lot of talks between Isak's camp, Liverpool's camp, and then Newcastle and Liverpool. And I think we know the region of the price, and we would have told Newcastle that we're willing to pay within that region. They just have to open their doors for it. So if we already have spoken to Newcastle, and let's say they told Liverpool it has to be anything above 125 million for them to truly consider it, I think we wouldn't bid under that, because it's just a thing of like an agreement, like to say that's his actual value. You know what I mean? And a respect thing, because there would have been a lot of discussions for a long while now. Trust me. Lewis says, I'm a big fan of yours, and I want to ask your opinion if you think Isak should be prioritized as a signing, because I think we need a center back ASAP. Lewis, both will get done in my opinion. So just because we're really wanting to go for Isak right now doesn't mean that we're not going to sign a center back. If you had told me the Isak signing meant that we didn't sign a center back, then I would be worried 100%. Then I would be like, this is not smart from the club. But I truly have 100% confidence we will sign a center back. And that's why I'm not worried about that. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? People are saying bid 150 million. Do you believe this? I think we're going to bid lower than that just because of the current situation. Liverpool Hub, are you on holiday in Turkey right now? Go12 says, if Ekitike scores on his debut in the Community Shield, nah, come on. I don't believe in superstitions like that, bro. Come on. I want Ugo Ekitike to score tomorrow. I disagree. I really disagree. You should wear the cozy hat for good luck so we can sign Isak and Gehi. Bro, I will hydrate for us to sign Isak and Gehi, or Isak and a center back. I'm going to hydrate to that right now for that to get done ASAP. My prediction for tomorrow, 3-1 Liverpool win. 3-1 Liverpool win, please. That's the win. Yes, but go 12, come on. Just because Darwin scored in the Community Shield final and he didn't go on to do as well as we would have all hoped doesn't mean that if Ekitike scores in the Community Shield final that he won't be a successful signing. I'm not about that, you guys. Seriously not. They're completely different players. Completely different players. Omar's Gaming, nice to see you. Do you think Gyökeres will succeed at Arsenal and compete for the Golden Boot? It's too early to say, but I think after match week 3, we'll have a pretty good idea. We'll have a pretty good idea on it. So just takes a little bit of patience right now. That's it. A little bit of patience. That's what we need right now. Ekitike 22 is actually quite sick on the shirt because same spelling forwards and backwards. I know. I actually really like it. And I like it when players come into a club, unless you're obviously ready-made like Alexander Isak or Florian Wirtz. I like that you kind of have to prove yourself with a number that's not that well known. I actually prefer Ugo Ekitike. Just like, Bobby Firmino, when he initially came in, didn't get the number 9. He worked for it and deserved it eventually. But what I mean is, like, I like the fact that he's come in with 22, which isn't really a number that's that wanted, but he can make it his own. And I just love that, Yeah, I'm on holiday. I bought our new kit. Love it. Love it. Leo, why do we get Ekitike if we want Isak and I would rather Barcola? Because I think we saw an opportunity in the market. We clearly rate Ekitike that highly because we had been looking closely at him for more than 6 months. And I think when we saw Newcastle were going big on him, we thought we couldn't miss that opportunity because Ugo Ekitike, we rate him that highly. And we'll need 2 strikers anyway because we've sold Darwin and we of course don't have Diogo Jota anymore. So we need 2 strikers in the team. And like I've said many times before, do not forget Hugo Ekitike is seen as a versatile forward. And we literally got to see that within just a few minutes of our first game where Hugo Ekitike looked so good on that left-hand side, almost like a winger in the way he got that assist for Mohamed Salah. So Hugo Ekitike will be able to fill in other positions, but obviously his best position is a center forward. But like I said anyways, you need two strikers. We had two strikers last season and we lost both. So that needs to happen, you know? Tommy says, I'm also so excited for the atmosphere. Yeah, it's going to be special. That's why we call it Anfield South. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. That's what I just made a video about. Exactly, Daniel. Leo, should I buy the home or away shirt? I think the home is an all-timer. I think the two best kits from this season are the home and the third kit. So if for you it's between the away and the home, I would say get the home. But actually tomorrow, guys, we're not wearing the home shirt. We're wearing the away shirt. Unfortunately, I don't know why actually. Why in a final are we wearing the not our home shirt? Because Crystal Palace's shirt is blue anyway, so I don't get why we can't wear red. I don't understand that decision. Does this affect the Nunes transfer? Bro, the Darwin transfer is already done. That's already finished. He's leaving. How are you, Leo? I'm doing well. My favorite player is Virgil and Stevie G. I love Virgil and Stevie G too. My favorite player of all time is Stevie G as well. Abzinho says, let's say we don't get Isak this window, we get him next window. We start Ekitike, but then we only have one striker. Who would be our backup? Abzinho, I think if we don't get Alexander Isak this window, I think we'll wait, like you said, to get him in another window for sure because he really wants us. I think that might mean Chiesa stays because Chiesa has looked good down the middle. And we also have two players who can play in the false nine role. We have Dominic Szoboszlai, who looked very good there last season against City, with the game that we won 2-0 at the Etihad. And I definitely think Florian Wirtz could operate in a false nine kind of position. So we do have options in the short term that we can fill in for them, because it seems like right now we're going all out on Alexander Isak or just not, because there's no one that compares to him in the market, and we're not going to spend on another striker that we don't really want when we're probably just trying to get Isak in the next window. So like I said, I think if Isak doesn't happen, we'd keep Chiesa, and we'd also have Dominic Szoboszlai and Florian Wirtz as options who could play the false nine role, is my personal opinion. Tommy says, what? Palace is blue and red. Can totally tell the difference. Yeah, I don't get it. Guys, if Chiesa gets in form, he'll cook. He's very versatile. Bro, I wanted him to stay, trust me. Salut Léo, c'est quoi la grandeur du maillot que tu portes, M ou L? Mohamed says, Leo, what shirt size are you wearing? I always get the M. Look, because it's not too tight. You see, it goes a little bit like that. I personally like the M because it's not too tight, so we can go like that. And yeah, so it's M size. Slot is going for the Luis Enrique tactics. I think so. I really think so. Especially the way we play. We're extremely... the way I would describe Arne Slot's football in just a few words, when we have the ball, is total control of possession and not with no risk taking. And what I mean by that is when we're in the midfield or from the back, very different to Klopp, where I think it was very chaos kind of football. I think here when we have the ball, it's all about keeping it and not giving it away in silly places. But here's where it changes everything. I do believe in the final third, when our attackers are on the ball, that's where he gives us the team total freedom. As in, there you can lose the ball, there you can take more risks. And that's why I think he wants a lot of fluidity between that front three. And yeah. You going to Wembley tomorrow? No, unfortunately not, Shane. But I will be doing a watch along on here, which I can't wait for. Oh my goodness. Willie, you already ate dinner? I haven't even had lunch. Do you like Barcola? I really like Barcola. If we got him, I'd be absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. Rain, yeah, I mean, I agree. Right now, if I had to say who's the best fullback pairing in the world, absolutely it's Mendes and Hakimi from PSG. They proved it last season. But am I very excited about the future prospect of Frimpong and Kirkez? Yes. Yes, indeed. But as of right now, 100% PSG because they proved it last season. That's absolutely the best fullback pairing in the world. They're both world class in their positions, going forward and defensively. They're very, very good. Andreas says, why does Newcastle want to keep a player that doesn't want to be there? Because Andreas, they haven't been able to get their striker targets this summer. They tried for Joao Pedro, they tried for most recently Sesko, and they tried a few others who rejected them. So they can't let go of Isak until they get a striker signing that they believe is good enough for them. And that does make sense, to be fair, because they can't just go into the season with no strikers. That would be way too risky. So that's why they're blocking the move until they can get some strikers in, basically, is what's happening right now. That's why there's a delay. If they had gotten Joao Pedro and, let's say, Sesko, the deal would have been done by now, in my opinion. But like I said, they were rejected by those players. Henry says, I'm going to Anfield for the opening day of the season next week. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, bro. The atmosphere is going to be electric. It's going to be unbelievable. What's up, Leo? Just went swimming in the Red Sea on holiday. Should we sign Isak or first sign a center back? I would say first sign a center back because the signing of Isak is dependent on Newcastle. They need to, like I just said, they need to get their strikers in. So for me, we should first sign a center back because that's not dependent on Newcastle. You know? But at the same time, like I was saying before, apparently that's also dependent on Crystal Palace because we want their asking price to drop, and we're hopeful that that will happen the longer this window goes on, you know? And the closer we are to this being the end of the window. Who do you want most, Isak or Barcola? Isak. Since it seems like we have the money for Isak, I would say Isak, because it ain't my money. And what do I think? Which player do I think gives us the best chance to win the Premier League next season? Alexander Isak, because he's Premier League proven and because he's just proven to be world class in this league. You know what I mean? And just thinking about Isak playing with Wirtz and Mohamed Salah, I think can just mean he can get even better. He can get even better numbers than he did at Newcastle because those two top class players in Florian Wirtz and Salah are some of the two best creators in world football. So to think they will be feeding Alexander Isak, that for me, there's nothing more exciting to think about than that. The Scout Spot says, "Hey Leo, just joined. What do you think we'll do? Wait, what do we think this will do to our chances of signing Isak, and if we ever will?" I don't think this impacts it. Like I said, the only thing that I think impacts us getting Isak or not, the Scout Spot, is if all the strikers they go for doesn't end up happening, like they continue to get rejected. Then I think they'll just be forced to keep an unhappy player around because they can't go into the season without a striker replacement. You know what I'm saying? Lauren says, Luke Edwards has been wrong many times. Yup. That's why I remain calm. Completely calm about the situation. Charlotte, nice to see you in the building, says, popping in before I head out. I don't think we'll sign Isak this window, unfortunately. On the bright side, it means we can get him cheaper next year. Newcastle have handled this so badly. Wait, so Charlotte, if you think we don't get Isak this window, do you think it means we sign another attacker? Because we have sold Darwin, Lucho, and we've lost Diogo Jota. So it leaves us short in the attacking areas. What do you think? No way, David has sent another 5 memberships. I want W's in the building for David Haymid. Thank you again for the support, it really means the world. It's Tutu Mercato. Okay, I don't know that source, Omar, so we'll have to wait and see. I'd rather wait to see if Fabrizio says something on it or not, because he does have a lot of links in Italy. So I think if it really was reliable, Fabrizio would have said something about it, you know? So let's wait and see on that. Let's wait and see on it. So David has gifted Lee Conway. David has gifted Kat and OG in the building as well. David has gifted Lauren. And David has gifted Omar and JJ. Guys, I want you spamming those new emojis for those of you that have just become members. Absolute legend. Thank you again for the support, David. Leo Barcola is very good in his passing, but very bad in finishing. Bro, I disagree with that. He's still just 22 years old. And I told you already the goal contributions he got last season. He can improve, of course. But to say he's bad, to say he's a bad finisher, and he got 21 goals last season, I'm sorry. That's just no. Just no. What about, says Leo, what are the odds Salah gets the Ballon d'Or? I think pretty small chances, unfortunately. I think there's very high chances he finishes in the top 5. Because for me, the top 5, and this is not my order, but I would say Dembele, Yamal, Rafinha, Salah, and Mbappe probably. Because they just tend... I know Mendes probably deserves to be in there, but they just seem to always put attackers in the top 5. I mean, to be fair, Rodri did win it last year, but you get what I'm saying. I think that's probably the top 5 right now. And unfortunately, I think Dembele is from all the reports I'm seeing, Dembele is the heavy favorite right now. So it's not looking good for Salah in this moment in time. But yeah, I don't know. Just join and subscribe. That journalist lied, by the way. If you check Lee Ryder, we are still in for Isak. Yeah, I know. I mean, Luke Edwards, honestly, I think he needs to retire after this transfer window. What's your thoughts on Tyler Morn to Newcastle? Nah, bro, Tyler Morn already went to Lyon. That deal is already a done deal. He left for Lyon for £15 million. It's already been officially announced by Lyon as well. Why were they willing to sell before? Newcastle PR has no logic. I know. Zombie says, hey, yo Leo, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to you. Who says, I got the 3rd Arsenal shirt, an Arsenal book, and a stadium tour. Ooh, that's sick. What color is the Arsenal 3rd shirt, by the way? What color? Faraz says, Leo, I want Doak to stay. He has 1 year left, and I think 2 years as Salah's backup, being an understudy to become our first choice right winger, because I think he has that potential. Faraz, I definitely rate him, but I think it's up to Slot and our coaching staff to make that decision, because they see him in training week, day in, day out, so they'll know better than us. But I would be happy if he stayed for sure. It's just looking more likely right now that he could leave on a permanent. That's just the reports I'm seeing. Tommy says, Leo, does your silver play button have a hook on the back to hang it on the wall or something? I don't exactly remember, actually. I would have to check when I get home to France. I go back in 1 month, or in about 3 to 4 weeks, I'll be back in the OG setup. Charlotte says, I don't think we will sign another attacker. I think it means Chiesa will stay and finally have a chance. We have plenty of goals at Liverpool, and without someone down the middle, I'm calm. Yeah, I would be calm. If we didn't sign Isak, I would absolutely be calm. The main thing is just, in my opinion, the main thing is we need to sign a center back. And like I said, I have total belief we will get a center back. The Scout Spud, Leo, who are you getting on the back of your new shirts? So I got the new short sleeve with Verts and the long sleeve with Away with Mac on the back. That's sick. The Scout Spud, so I'm going to get Florian Verts on the home one. Next time I'm in Liverpool, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get Hugo Ekitike on the white away one. And then for the third kit, the green one, I'm going to get Jeremy Frimpong. That's the decision I've made for this season's kits. So I'm so excited. Favole says, hey Leo, I know our luck has been outstanding this summer, but these past few weeks, it looks like our transfer efforts have taken a halt as our rivals like United and Chelsea strengthen. I mean, not really. It's more we did all of our business early, and that's super smart from us. For example, our fullbacks, we got them done before preseason started. And Florian Wirtz too. So I just think we moved really early, which is just intelligent. It just shows how well run we are, because we wanted to get those players in as soon as possible so that they could have a proper preseason, which is what we ended up doing, Gino, thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. Who says, you can tell you truly know and love Liverpool, Leo. Keep doing what you're doing, the Liverpool way. Salah for the Ballon d'Or. Chino, thank you for those kind words. I really appreciate it. I mean, I definitely think a lot of people are more knowledgeable about me, especially, the Reds that go watch Liverpool week in, week out. But definitely, I think the love of Liverpool has been there since I've been a kid, and it's going to stay for life, just like many of you guys in the building, are just like me. But Charlotte says, see you later, bud. Have a great day. You too, Charlotte. Have a great day, and I hope to see you tomorrow for the watch along. Tommy says, do you reckon Slot was saving funds last year to go big this year? Yes, that. But Tommy, I think the bigger thing is he didn't really know the squad just yet. And I say that because he hadn't managed them, right? So I think the bigger thing is Arne Slot wanted to have a full season to get to know his team, get to know the individuals, to then have a proper understanding of who he wants to keep and who he wants to sell. Because obviously we just see, how players perform on the pitch. We get to see everything that's public, but Slot obviously has so much more knowledge than us because he gets to know these players' personalities, their mentalities, how they train, all of these things that we don't get to see. But he will get to have seen that over a whole year. And that gives him a better idea, of course, of who he wants to sell. And then, based on who he wants to sell, also what positions to strengthen in. That's the main reason why I believe we didn't go big last summer. Because he needed to know as much as possible on those players. And then he could make those big decisions on the incomings and the outgoings. Jen says, who's your favorite Liverpool player? Bro, I can't pick a current one. But my favorite of all time is Stevie G. Without a shadow of a doubt. Are you going to do a stream for the Ballon d'Or? Yes, I will. I did one last year and it was so much fun. So we'll go again this season. And I'll see if I can get James in the building again. Andre says, Leo, I'm a Newcastle fan. I think Liverpool can still get Isak if Wisa joins Newcastle. Wisa was amazing last season, 20 goals. Yeah, exactly. Andre, I think it's just dependent on you getting those players in first. Those strikers in. And then you'll be willing to sell. And when is the ceremony? The ceremony for the Ballon d'Or, by the way, I had the day before. I think it's on... Wait, I had written it before. I think it's on September 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. But let me double check. When the Ballon d'Or ceremony is. Yeah, September 22nd. Yep. It's 5 a.m. in the morning. Where are you based right now? Nah, bro, lover, do not worry. No stress. What do you think of Liverpool's bright future? I think indeed it is a very bright future. I agree that it's a very bright future. Can't lie. Rio isn't ready to start in the Premier League or Champions League yet. I don't think we want to rush him that much. That's for sure. We don't want to rush him that much. But that's why we have Cody Gakpo there. Gakpo is proven in the Premier League. Talk about Giovanni Leoni, bro. I haven't seen that much of him. What I saw is that he's 6'5", so he's absolutely massive. He's calm on the ball. He's strong. He can pick out a pass, and he's just 18 years old, and he already has like Serie A experience. So, I mean Giovanni Leoni, bro. To me, it seems like a no-brainer if we rate him that highly, and the fee it seems like would be between 20 to 30 million pounds. And like I said before, Inter Milan and Juve want him, which just shows how highly rated he is in Italy. I think I'd be all over that, personally. I'd be all over that. Do you think Salah can become Liverpool's top ever goal scorer, says Deliora? Ooh, Tommy, I think so too. Deliora said, so let me read you guys the stats. Hold on. Of Liverpool top goal scorers. to see how close Salah is. Ready? All-time top goal scorer. This is all competitions. Our number one, you guys, is Ian Rush. Ian Rush made 660 appearances for the club, though. That's wild. He scored 346 goals. That's the all-time record. In second is Roger Hunt, who made 492 appearances for the club. He scored 285 goals. And then Salah is currently in third. He made 401 appearances and scored 245 goals. So Dele Alli, he still needs a lot of goals. He needs about, 100 more goals to catch up to Ian Rush. Can he do that in 2 seasons? I don't think so. I really don't think he's scoring 100 goals in 2 seasons. As good as I think Salah is, I don't think he's scoring 100 goals in 2 seasons. But let's say these next 2 seasons go incredibly well, and he has he's able to stay at the top level, and because of his professionalism, like Ronaldo, and the way he takes care of his body, if he signed another 1 to 2 years after that, Dele Alli, then I think he could become a top goal scorer. But if you're asking me right now, if I had to guess, I don't think he'll do it. To score 100 more goals, that's just wild. It's just very, very difficult. But if after these 2 years he signed another 2 years, but again, that's very unlikely. If it was another 2 years, then I think he could do it. He could. Even third is very good on an all-timer list. I agree. Very, very good. I mean, in that list, the only other player I got to see in the top 6 in my lifetime is Stevie G. Stevie G has 186 goals in 710 appearances. He's in 6th. Yes, Kat, we gotta stay hydrated. This is the Good Luck Cup 2 that I'm absolutely gonna have for tomorrow's stream for the for the Community Shield final. Biku Talks Football says Bradley is injury prone. What do you think about that? I'm a little bit worried about that. Yes, he seems to get not big injuries but recurring injuries, and that worries me a bit. And again, he's not going to be available tomorrow. So Jeremy Frimpong, and that's why it was so crucial. We did sign a right back who's ready enough to be a starting player for Liverpool, and I think Jeremy Frimpong has shown how good he is this preseason, and he'll start tomorrow. Absolutely, he'll start tomorrow. Just got the new jersey, Leo. I'm loving it. Love it. Who did you get on the back? 2019 midfield or 2025 midfield? 2025 midfield. I think the only midfield in my opinion, that's better than this current midfield in the Premier League era. And I'm talking about starting 3. Let's say our starting 3 is Gravenberch, Maka, and Wirtz, or Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, Maka, or whatever, or Wirtz, Szoboszlai, Maka, a 3. I think only one midfield has been better in this Premier League era, and that's Xabi Alonso, Mascherano, and Stevie G. For me, if you're talking about a midfield 3, I think our midfield depth is better now for sure than it was back then. But the best midfield 3 you've ever had is definitely Xabi Alonso, Mascherano, and Stevie G. Definitely. But that's also because just Stevie G alone is so on another level to anyone that alone, you know. Tommy says, do you know if Wembley might sell Liverpool merch tomorrow? They only sell merch for home games. I think there'll be people outside selling stuff. I think they'll be outside of Wembley. Only Fabinho gets in the team now. I'm not even sure about that, Kat. I don't actually think Fabinho gets in this team. Not because he's not incredible, but because of the way we play. Slot needs someone who's very good on the ball. And yes, Fabinho was good on the ball, but he wasn't very, very silky smooth like Gravenberch is. So I actually think if you ask Arne Slot if he'd rather have Gravenberch in his team as the defensive mid, holding mid, or Fabinho, I think he would say Gravenberch. So I actually don't think any of the midfielders get in the team from then. The Asian Sensational FC says, I like the midfield of Liverpool back in the day. Agreed with Leo. Love from Portugal. What's up, Andre? Where do you live in Portugal? You already had your dinner, though? Will you be in the OG background when you leave Iceland? Yes, Heath, except in end of September, I'm actually moving to an apartment that I want to stay in for years. So the OG background is no longer going to be end of September, and you're going to see a completely new setup next season. But it's going to happen like end of September. And that's hopefully going to be then my setup for a long time. Hi, Alfie. Klopp would prefer Fabinho, though, for sure. Delior, 100%. Klopp would prefer Fabinho. With the way we played, he needed... See, the way our football was like chaotic then, we needed a destroyer-type defensive mid. And Slot, I don't think Slot will ever have a destroyer defensive mid in his team. And what's the best example of that? Who was our number one transfer target for a defensive mid last summer? Zubimendi. He was our number one target, and we didn't even have a plan B. We wanted Zubimendi so badly. And what is Zubimendi? Zubimendi is a player who's very, very, very good on the ball, but definitely not a destroyed defensive mid. His strength is receiving the ball in tight spaces. He never loses it. He's elite at that. And that's why he's Slot, and we wanted him above any other target last summer. Can we do some hate watches this season? Yes, Kat, absolutely. Guys, let me know if you would tune in for a watch along. So next week, the Premier League is back, right? I was thinking we should do a watch along next week. Obviously, we're going to do Liverpool Bournemouth. But I was thinking next Sunday is Man United against Arsenal. Would you guys want to do a watch along for that? That's on August 17th. We could do a watch along of that. I think that would be a lot of fun. And the buzz of the new season coming back too. LFC Avery, thank you for being a channel legend member for 5 months, who says, I'm 1 month away from the yellow badge on my alternative account. Also, I just got the new home shirt. Big up LFC Avery. Who did you get on the back of the new home shirt, by the way? Who did you get on the back? Zubi or Gravenberg at CDM. I think they'll be two of the best in the league. And honestly, I think the entire Premier League is going to be surprised as to just how good Zubimendi is. And this just shows I'm not someone who has ill feelings towards a player. It didn't work out. And for us, it definitely worked out because we ended up discovering Gravenberg. But for people who are saying Zubimendi is not a good player, bro, we're going to discover this season Zubimendi is elite. He's elite. Seriously. And I was saying that when we were linked with him this summer, just because he's now an Arsenal player doesn't mean I'm going to change my stance. It doesn't mean I'm going to change my stance. And what I worry, what I worry for Arsenal is I think Zubimendi joining Arsenal is going to unlock Declan Rice to have more freedom to roam forward. And he's incredible when he just gets to be on the ball and in the attacking positions. So I actually think the Zubimendi signing for Arsenal could be the most important signing for Arsenal, because of how it'll unlock Declan Rice to go forward more often. Liverpool FC pal, nice to see you in the building. Delior says, we don't hate watch over here. Let's call it rival watch. Yeah. Thanks for the sub gift of my birthday. Alinos, is it your birthday today? No way. Is it your birthday? What kit will be playing in tomorrow? We'll be wearing the away shirt. We won't be in red tomorrow. We'll be in the white away shirt. And how do I know that? I'll show you. Because Liverpool did a post, and that's usually when they reveal what shirt we'll wear. And look at the post. This is the post from Liverpool. That our next game is against Crystal Palace Sunday, August 10th. So that's tomorrow, 3 p.m. UK time. And they posted it with Salah wearing the white shirt. So that's them saying, it's your birthday, Alinos. Happy birthday, my Romanian brother, Scousa. I hope you have the best day. I hope you have the best day. And I hope for you that we win the Community Shield tomorrow and that we have a great start to the season. Come on, you Reds. Come on. The Liverpool family that's together right now. Does this mean we're going for Barcola? Nah, bro. We're still going all in for Isak, and I'm still confident we will get him. just have that feeling we might be in the Champions League final next June. Oh my god, Tommy, that's my dream. If we get to the Champions League final, bro, I would die. It's in Budapest as well. So we have two of Hungary's stars, Dominik Szoboszlai and Kirkez, both play for Liverpool. And the Champions League final is going to be in Hungary. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. But anyways, you guys, unfortunately, I have to go have some lunch and do a bit more work. But yeah, guys, do not stress about this report from Luke Edwards. As I said, we stay calm, we stay hopeful. I still think he'll join, whether this window or next one. He's desperate for the Liverpool move. It's only a matter of time, in my opinion. And yeah, guys, I will literally see y'all tomorrow for the Community Shield final. Alina says, thanks, bro. Means a lot for me being alone. Much love, my bro. Sending a whole lot of love to you, Alinas. I hope to see you tomorrow as well. We're going to do a watch along for the Community Shield final. But yeah, guys. Leo, you wear the Adidas shirt every day? Yeah, bro. I don't care if I wear it out. I'm just too hyped about getting it that I have to wear it every day. But yeah, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your Saturday. And I just can't wait for the season to get started. Cannot wait. Did he delete the post? Bro, that just says it all. He deleted the post. Anyways, guys, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I hope to see y'all tomorrow. And yeah, guys. You'll never walk alone. Speak very